Standing at the back of your mat in Tadasana. Spread through those fingers, spread through those toes. Lift through the arches, unlock the knees. Inhale, circle the arms up. And exhale, fold all the way down. Pull the heart forward, 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 forward. And swan dive. Inhale, lift the heart back up just halfway. Maybe the hands slide up the sides of the legs. Fold it back in as you release. Weight goes back into the heels. Just stretch the backs of the legs as you slowly walk the hands forward to the front of the mat. Spread through the fingers. Lift through the length of the arms, right from the forefinger, middle finger, thumb, up through the midline, the inner seam of the arms. Open that up as you drop the elbows out to the side and you roll them down a little bit. Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. You're going to lift the right leg up and back. Draw the knee in towards the nose and step the foot all the way through towards the top of the mat. Bring it in a little bit, heart forward, drop the back knee down. You're going to lift through the arms. So flip the toes in the back and the arms go up. You're going to interlace the hands, stretch the skin of the palms up towards the ceiling. Reach the heart as you push into that foot. Give yourself a little bit of a back bend. Notice if you're just leaning back, I want you to pull the hips forward, draw the ribs in, and lift a little more. Give it a breath. Or two. And then bring the hands down to the mat again. I'm going to use blocks. You can use blocks, you can use cushions, you can use books, or just hands on the mat. Heart forward. Then you're going to pull the hips back. Lift the right toes. Maybe the heel slides forward just a little bit into a half split. Your hands can move forward, they can move back. It's up to you where you feel the stretch, right? If it's hard to reach the mat, use those blocks and stay upright a little bit more. If you've got some flexibility in the back of the leg, you could draw into it. Hips go back, heart goes forward, and you fold in. Try and notice if your toes are out to the side, you're going to come to the center of the heel, toes pulling back, and just that motion, you're going to feel more in the back of the leg. Give it a really nice deep breath in and a breath out. If the heel moves forward, bring it back a little bit again. Bend into the knee. This time you're going to tuck the back toes and lift that back knee up off the mat. Heart forward, outer hip bend, spin the back heel down, and then lift into Warrior Two. Opening up, chest to the side. You're going to reverse and give it a stretch. You're going to straighten the leg and reach up and back a little bit more. Bring your arms parallel to the ground. Keep the arms parallel. Bring that back hip forward just a little bit. Swivel in the hips and then reach out. Hand's going to come down onto the mat or onto a block, maybe inside the foot. Left arm goes up. Lift your left shoulder up. Keep your hips where they are, but spin the chest open into a triangle pose. So the ball of the big toe of the right foot is pushing down. The back heel is pressing down. And you're opening up the chest to the side. Notice if the knees are locked, unlock them a little bit. So you're using more muscle, you're using more grip in the feet to lift up. Try to lift the kneecaps up towards the hips. So you're just lifting energy up through the arches, up through the knees, into the low belly. Take another breath. And a breath out. You're going to bend into the knee. You're going to shift that back foot in a little bit, heel toe it in. You're going to take this block and move it forward, outside the pinky toe side of the foot, maybe a foot forward, foot and a half. And then you're going to lift into a half moon pose. Right toes are straight forward, left toes are to the side. Chest is open. See if that left shoulder came down. Open the chest again. You can take a few breaths here in a half moon pose. You can bring the left hand back and maybe stretch the front of the left hip by reaching for the foot, pushing the foot into the hand, Chapasana, opening up a little more. If you have the foot, open it back up into half moon. Bend into the right knee and step it back into warrior two. We're going to stretch this right hip, this right leg that just worked. So you bring the hands to the heart, spin the toes in, spin the left toes back and sink down into Skandasana. Just give it a stretch. Bring the hands down, lift it up, walk the hands forward again. Spin the back heel up, find those blocks again maybe. Outside, framing the right foot. You're going to step the left foot in just a little bit, heart forward, and then you're going to pull the hips back and straighten the leg into your hamstrings. Maybe the blocks move forward and you fold, maybe the blocks move back and you lift, right? Finding your edge to stretch into the back of the right leg. A couple more deep breaths. Bend into that front knee again. Set the blocks aside so the hands can come down to the mat. Step into plank pose, top of a push-up. Use your knees if you like, chaturanga, or just lift into down dog. We'll meet you there in a moment. Cobra pose, and then downward facing dog. Give it a breath, and a breath out. Left leg is going to lift, knee to the nose, and step it through to the front of the mat. Drop the back knee down, flip the toes, and lift through the arms again. Interlace the hands or cross the thumbs. Give it a stretch. Push down into the mat to lift away first, and then up and back. Tail dropping. Open chest. Notice if the shoulders are hiked away up by the ears, drop them down. Open up again. Deep breath. And then sweep the hands down to the mat. Pull the hips back. Lift the left toes. Use your blocks if you want to. Slide the heel forward if you need to. Reposition the hips, the legs, the hands to stretch into the back of the leg. Toes going straight up. Hips down the center. Notice if you swing out to the sides. Right, it's just tightness in the hamstrings. That's all it is. So you find the support of the blocks, the depth or the height, right, of the torso that lets you concentrate on just stretching in the back of the leg without whacking out other places in the body. A couple more deep breaths. Unlocking the knee if it's locked. If you feel the stretch in the back of the knee, bend it just a tiny bit. You should feel the back of the thighs, back of the calf. One last breath. And then draw the heel back if it moved. Bend the knee. Tuck the back toes, lift that knee. Warrior two as the heel spins down. And you lift. Nice deep bend in that front knee. Rooting into the back heel. Chest open to the side. Hips are spun a little bit forward. You're going to reverse your warrior. Lift it up and back. You straighten that leg and lift a little more. Arms come parallel to the ground. Heel toe this back foot in a little bit. Just a little bit. Bring that the back hip forward. Reach out as far as you can through the left fingers and bring them down to the mat or to a block. Right? Root into the back heel and then lift that right arm, that right shoulder up. Triangle pose. Left ball, the big toe. Pushing down. Right heel, pressing down. But once you find those roots, lift up through both arches, up through the knees, up through the low belly, spread across the chest. Gaze can come wherever the neck is happy. Right? Go up towards that thumb, over to the side, down if there's a lot of tension in the neck, shoulders away from the ears. Another breath. And then we're going to transition. So you're going to move that back foot in, heel toe it in a little bit. Your top hand can even come to the hip for a little more balance in transition, or you can leave it lifted. You're going to bend into the knee and shift that block forward to bring the floor up to meet you with that left hand. Half moon pose. Left toes are straight forward, right toes are out to the side. You can pause here and balance. If you need to bend the left knee a little bit to find some strength in the belly and the tail drawing back, go ahead and bend. Right? Straighten again if you can. If you want to take Japasana, you're going to reach back with the right hand. Grab the top of the left foot and stretch. Keep the chest open and the tail drawing back. Let go of the foot if you've got it. Open it back up. Bend into the knee, back into Warrior Two. Reverse your warrior. And cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Sorry, come back up. My mistake. Hands to the heart. Straighten the front leg and sink back to stretch this left hip that was just standing, right? Skandasana. Hands down to the mat to lift with support and walk them forward. Spin the right heel up. Step it in a little bit. Blocks under the hands if you like. Even out the hips, so notice the left hip is out to the side, pull it back, heart forward, straighten the legs, hamstrings. Walk those blocks forward if you want to, back if you need a lift. Remember, the feet can come closer together, your heel can stay lifted. We're trying to bring focus into the back of the leg. So we want to keep the spine long and straight. We want to keep the hips even instead of twisting or jutting out. We want to keep the ball, the big toe of that left foot rooted down into the mat. And take 3 more breaths. Blocks aside as you bend back into that front knee. Palms come down as you step to plank. Chaturanga as you pull forward and hover or drop the knees and come all the way down. Cobra or upward facing dog. And downward facing dog as you lift. Take a really nice deep breath. And a breath out. Walk the hands back to the feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale, fold it in. Sweep all the way up. And hands to the heart. Down by the hips, and back into Tadasana. Close the eyes. Lift the shoulders, drop them back down, unlock the knees, and feel the mat under your feet. Feel the air around you in the room. Feel the breath moving through you.